It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Well, the Saturday night special last week, we talked a lot about agates. I got a bucket of agates from the Yellowstone River, and my plan for these was to kind of start chopping into them, slabbing them up, right? Look for some iris, and just kind of go that road with them. Now, that was the plan. I did also say in that video that I was interested in Tom Harmon's books, and had anybody read any of Tom's books? And a very generous viewer here of the channel and supporter of the project actually purchased Tom's books for me. So I actually have all of them right here. So rather than just whacking into these agates, I'm going to try to learn as much as I possibly can about that material by reading these books and then approach the subject, because it can be complex and there can be a lot to it. So why not learn everything that I can learn? And well, I got all of them here. So we have the World of Dendrites and Agate. That'll be a fun one. Rainbow Iris. The Many Faces of Montana Agate. The River Runs North, the story of the Montana Moss Agate. And the how-tos of cabbing and carving. Now, I'm not much of a carver. I'm not set up for that. But I plan on reading one of these books a week, and we can maybe discuss some of the things that I've learned, or, we can talk about it here on the Saturday video, and then I can kind of start approaching this topic of Montana Moss Agates from a more informed perspective before I start just having at it, I got lots of rocks. I want to do some cutting, polishing. I got other things. It doesn't have to be these guys. Not right now, even though I really kind of want to just cut into them. Also, that's not the only book that I got this week. Check this out. Okay, now, this is absolutely super niche. Nobody needs this, except for, I guess, yeah, me. This is a book for somebody like me. Now, if you are a reader of historical books and magazines, and you name it, we've talked a lot about the foolishness of trade names, common names, made-up names, you name it. Well, this is as good as it's going to get for researching what some of those actually are. So we can just kind of open this up, and you can just flip to it. We can look here and go through it and be like, well, what's this? I don't know. All the different jades, all the, what was it, Jargonite? What's Jargonite? Jargoon is a zircon, so it's nice to be able to have something like this to aid in my research and understanding of rocks and minerals as I read up about. Man, this past week at the Rice Museum. The Rice Museum, the tour there, I'm very happy with how it came out. Very pleased with that video. If you haven't watched it, go give it a look. It's incredible. The Rice Museum was fantastic. Angela taking time out of her day, opening up the museum for us so that we could spend time there, explore the collection. I'm telling you, right? The video is good, and we show a bunch of stuff in it. But we did not do it justice in any way. There's whole rooms that we barely showed, and you need to go there. You need to go there. And really, we didn't have enough time. Ideally, it would have been show up. You basically need two full days, in my opinion. You need a day to kind of go and just browse. You just meander. You look at the things, right? And you kind of make a mental note of what you really want to come and stare at or learn about or read all the little labels for. And then you got to come back and spend a whole day going through that place. And I would love to do that. I would absolutely love to just be no filming, no nothing, just a day at the museum, hanging out, reading all this stuff, looking at all the stuff, and enjoying it from that perspective. Now, That said, there's so many aspects of it that probably need even more. Like, we didn't touch on it, but they have like a giant like bookcase, a glass case filled with books that I don't have, that I want. I would have loved to been like, hey, can you open up the bookcase for me? And I can, like, you know, write down some titles, flip through some stuff, and do some of that. They have every single issue of Mineralogical Record. Like, there was just a lot. It was like information overload in a very good way. I would love to go back to the Rice, spend more time there, and come away with it with even a more understanding. Maybe in a couple of months too, when they change out some cases. I feel like I have this kind of mental connection to the Rice Museum. You know, the Rices, they started out their rockhounding career in the exact same path that we did. You know, finding a couple of beach agates on the Oregon coast, and you're like, well, it sunk a hook, and now here I'm doing this, and they were doing their thing. And yeah, you know, it's me and Sarah went there about 8 years ago, and looked at the collection and had no kind of, we couldn't wrap our minds around it. And to be able to go back was extremely cool. Well, I'm just still kind of thinking about it as a subject and kind of decompressing from it some. And man, I really want to do more things like that in the future. Although it is it's a time-consuming project. You know, it's a lot of driving, a lot of expense, a lot of things, and you know, that. But very happy that I got to have that experience. We will be continuing at the Rice Museum this coming week, so stay tuned for that. I have some very special things to show you, and I think it's going to come out great. I think you're going to love it. Well, so I got to get something off my chest. I just do. And I know this probably doesn't apply to you, because you people here that watch the Saturday night special and you're like 8 minutes into a video or so, you're not really the ones to do this. But let me just vent for a second. So many people do not know how to write a message or a letter in an appropriate manner, and it makes me crazy. It makes me a little nuts. You know, if you're corresponding with somebody, it doesn't matter. I've received great correspondence from a large number of people over the years, as well as I've received some absolute dumpster fire messages. And let me give you an example. Right? Many people correspond by being like, "Hello, Jared. I enjoy your YouTube videos. I was watching insert video, and I was out there as well. I found," and then insert high quality colored photo taken outside in nice natural light into the email. "What are your thoughts on this?" And I love it. I love helping people like that. And it is fantastic to have those interactions. I learned so much. From that. What isn't good is when somebody, I get these messages sometimes, right? And it's completely nuts. It'll be like a blurry photo, and somebody will write ID ? That's it. Like, it's the most, I get some extremely low effort emails. Now I'm glad that I would say maybe they are 10% of what I actually get, which that's great. But it always blows me away that people today, adult men, women, whoever, feel like that is an appropriate way to write a letter or like correspond. It's silly to me. It's so silly. It's so silly. But I just had to say that. Like, if you want something from another person, it doesn't necessarily need to be me, but just in general, you go, "Hello," that person's name. Nice thing, the thing you want to talk about, maybe a follow-up, sincerely, your name. Did they stop teaching letter writing? I mean, we don't have any kids, so I don't know. But like, did they stop? If you did they stop teaching how to write a letter in school at some point? I just think it's funny. That's all. I think it's funny that people do that. You know, real quick, let's, I've kind of flipped through these, right? So I flipped through these books, and my initial impression is that they are very, very good. These are high quality, right? This isn't like an endorsement or anything, but some of the photos of the iris in here, I'm just like, oh, very pretty. Or like, you know, just some of the dendrites, some of the different stuff. Like, I'm not going to show the guy's whole book here, but, you know, like, it is absolutely a stunning books with like some extremely high quality photos in here. Like that right there. Look at that. How pretty is that? I'm looking forward to reading these. I really am. And I'm looking forward to chopping into those. So yeah, good weeks. Well, one of the last things I would like to speak with you this evening about is I want to talk to you about my friend Brian. Now, you might know Brian. He is 50% of Arizona Rockhound Expeditions. And well, Brian's not doing well, everybody. He's definitely having some medical problems. And I'm going to drop a video up there and down there over that you can go look at over on their channel. Would you do me a favor? And if you wouldn't mind going over there and leaving a kind message of support for them, or go subscribe to their channel as well. I believe channels like mine, like theirs, should be supportive of each other. You know, they produce high quality content that is engaging, interesting. They don't perform clickbait nonsense like some other channels. And I think that should be appreciated and supported. So if you could go over there and check them out, watch a video of theirs, leave a nice message of support, I would really appreciate that. I would be that me thanking you. All right, everybody. Well, look forward to a book report on one of those for next week. Stay tuned for some more action from the Rice Museum. You know, I like it. I dig it. I wish I could go back. I wish I could just we could do a museum tour, right? That would be so excellent. A boy can dream. Well, y'all take care. I appreciate you. Thanks to everybody on Patreon who are supporting this project. And with that said, we will leave this one here, and I will catch you on the next video.